this is the USJ, where I'm going to start off. So they went on the bus. Same thing happens pretty much, but they would get to the USJ and walk up and would meet, 13. She'll explain her quirk and give them a speech. This is whenever Ida would be like, isn't this supposed to be a rescue training, not villain training? That's whenever they would turn around seeing a whole bunch of villains pop out of the portal. That's when they say, hey, stand back, this is a real attack, and all that. And Deku would have just ran in really quickly and started fighting all of them. He would take out after kicking some people in the face and punching them, taking out like 30 men, he would take out his swords and start taking them down each. And he would be canceling their quirk. He would take his quirk absorption sword and would swing, absorbing, some vines, like somebody's vine quirk, and attaching to somebody, swinging them and slamming them into people, swinging himself around, and extending them, wrapping against people and throwing them. He would absorb somebody's crystallization quirk, not like an OP one, but like he can crystal things outside his body really closely on them, like anything he kind of touches, but really slowly. Deku would have just sorry about that, but he would have just took that and swinged, making crystals in the air, sending them at people, stopping them into people. He would fall down, cancel everybody's quirk. After taking down about 100 more men, he would activate his true power of his quirk, saying demonic mode, activating his horns, his wings, and everything. And he would say, Black Demon, spinning, swirling cut, I don't know, some kind of spinning move, shooting himself, cutting people, and all that. He will say Divine Slasher, or Demonic Slasher. Okay, I came back. I just ate some pizza because it is kind of late for me. But yeah. I left off after I'm activating his true power. But he'll go around and he would swing his swords. Hitting people, of course. Use divine slashes. Kind of just taking out people. Like, you know how angels just kind of sit up above people and just kind of strike them down? Just kind of think of that. And yeah, this is whenever Shigaraki tells Tomura, or Shigaraki Tomura? Kurogiri. Shigaraki is the decayed. But yeah, the Nomu is pretty much brought there and told to jump up there and kill him. He would jump, but this is whenever he'll try to punch Deku, but Deku would punch him in the stomach. And because he does have anti-quirk in his fist, shock absorption doesn't work, so it does send him back. He would get back up and run at him. Because if you can literally throw a ball into space upwards, you can probably punch somebody pretty far. Because no joke, no scam, it's actually, to space is only 62 miles. But you probably need to throw it higher than that to get it farther up before it comes back down, of course. But yeah. Like 62 miles is the shortest, and because Japan's at sea. I think it's below sea level, so maybe they're like 75. And stuff like that, so yeah. He would throw the ball, or no, he would keep on punching the no-mill and slamming it with his sword. With his sword, where he says that's enough, because he keeps on jumping up. It's annoying, so he flies down and he says we'll fight like 2 men, but they would kind of fight. You know, All Might versus no-mill. Think of that, but instead of All Might getting overpowered, the no-mill's getting overpowered by big swords that smashes his bones and keeps them from regenerating. So imagine his hands completely getting broken apart until they completely get bursted off. This river, there he would take his sword, like the falling slash, and it would swing down, hitting him in the head using the anti-cork matter, pushing it through and cutting him in half, stopping his regeneration and flaying their body parts apart. And this is how you kill a no-mill. Then heroes will come, seeing half of the villains already taken down. Froppy could have jumped out of the water place with, what's his name? I forgot his name. Pervy Sage's true disciple, Menenda, or the rap star of him, Nux Tatu. Oh my god, I gotta say stuff, but it's whatever. But yeah. But they would get there. They would try to Emperor or like hold down Deku because I think he's a villain. But Deku or All Might will stop them, explaining the situation. So does Azawa. So yeah. So they all know the situation and they would leave him alone, but they'll watch him just in case. But this time they get off and they have 2 weeks without school. They'll go home 2 weeks later. They get told about the sports festival. They train for it. Deku's trying to master a move for widespread stop. But he masters it in these few. If he already had 2 weeks off and 2 more weeks to train, then it was like a month of training he had right there. So he has a month of training. He'll come back in the sports festival and they get told about the race. Then he would grab his swords and activate his wings in the suit. And they would say start, that could burst off at amazing speeds. Which we know that, Asta's really fast in his form. And because Deku has, more power in his form than Asta. And he probably is even faster. But that's how we know he's getting first place. The rest of them is Todoroki and Bakugo. And now it is the whole horse race and all that, or horse battle, I don't know. Forgot what it's called. Cavalry battle. They start battling, but ultimately Deku can fly and he can knock people down easily. But whenever he's flying, he says, I just want to test my ability. And a large amount of people, he'll fly back to Uraraka and them and say that I want to test something out and activate your guys' quirk. And they would, but this was when Deku would stick out his hands and say Dark Zone. He says this people's quirk will be cancelled for at least 5 minutes. I'll say they have 10 or 15 minutes left So they would take headbands from everybody in that 15 minutes. Deku would. People would try to charge them still, but 5 minutes up, people have their quirks back. But they're saying, "No, we're gonna jump you and take back all of our everything from you." That's what Deku would say. You sure about that? Monozone's still up, or Dark Zone. And he raised up his hand with a swirl appearing in it, and saying, Dark Forest, and would shoot a beam from behind somebody. And he could kind of just shoot attacks from any direction. And he would say, rising, black rising, having the blast appear from the ground, shooting people up. And that's when he says, black falling, having them appear above them, slam them into the ground. Of course, you can't cancel everybody, so I'll say, people that they don't cancel, or the people from the original battle. I don't know how, I'll just say that Deku didn't take everybody's headbands that are not, took everybody's headbands that are not important. I'll just say that. But, yeah. So it's the whole battle. So it is Deku versus Shinso. Shinso would try to talk, he would talk back. Shinso would say, I got you, now you're in my control. And says, walk out the ring. But this is whenever his eyes would turn black and he would look, or turn crimson red, I mean. He would look at Shinso, laugh, and sing, you think your weak core can take over my mind? He'd raise his hand, sing Dark Zone, swinging his hand down, shooting out several beams, hitting him in the chest, flinging him back and knocking him out. This is whenever his eyes will turn back to normal, and he'd be like, oh crap, not again, and stuff like that. And he'd walk off. And this when some people asked what that was, he'd say, like I said, split personality. It seems like he took over my consciousness, but not the other one. So he came out, and he kind of just beamed him in the chest. And guys might be thinking, what, he just beamed people earlier, but I'm talking about these beams, like, they weren't big, but they were small, but they still pierced him, like blood splat. So he is hurt, and he would go up to Sensei, say sorry about that. Sensei would be like, what do you mean, when mind control didn't work on you? He would say, no, my quirk gives me a split personality, which comes out whenever I'm not in control and stuff, and whenever you took control of my consciousness, it came out and all that. He would walk off. He'd be like, you're lucky you're born with power. Not Naruto, but Deku would be like, nah, actually, I didn't get my power until like a year ago, because it has been a year, I think, or like 11 months ago, at least that. So yeah. And now it is Todoroki versus Deku. I'll just go over this whole match. It started out with Todoroki saying, shooting out ice, and so saying, I'll take you down with only half my power. They'll be battling for a while, but Deku wouldn't really be battling. He'll kind of just be dodging. Todoroki would be like, why do you keep on dodging the attack? Deku would say there's no point, because eventually you give yourself frostbite with only using half of your quirk. You're doing more harm to yourself. You could have hit me if you used your actual quirk correctly, saying that there's your quirk, you're not using your quirk how it's supposed to be. Your ice is your defense, and your fire is your offense. Raising out his hand, shooting out a wave of dark, saying Dark Zone again, because Dark Zone is his new masterpiece. And this would cancel his quirk, but not as long because he didn't make it that opponent to take down several people. So he would run up saying, "How can you fare without your quirk?" And he would start boxing, or Deku would kind of just start kicking, boxing this dude like, boom, 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 bum, bum, kick to the leg, kick to the stomach, kick in the head, kicked in the face, but your nose open. For at least 2 minutes straight, just getting punched to death. So his quirk was come back and he'd say, "Take this! Half and half explosion." I have no clue what the move was, but it's just a big wave of his quirk. So yeah. Deku would have just said, "Okay then, Dark Zone, beam." Or he would just be like, Dark Forest. Dark Forest is his beam, just to clarify that. Don't ask him why I called it Forest. I have no clue. It's because I just didn't want to call it Dark Beam. I wanted to call it something different, so I just came up with Forest. Blasting through his attack, hitting him and sending him out the ring. Next battle, Bakugo versus Deku. Bakugo would of course do all the explosion stuff, but Deku kind of just sidestepped this dude all the time. He kind of just punched him every time he got close, sending him back. This is when he would grab Bakugo, and he would start spinning, saying, "Dark Twister Throw!" Throwing Bakugo in the air, saying Dark Zone, saying Great Forest Beam, touching his hands on the floor, rising it up with great haste, and would shoot a great big beam, shooting him upwards even farther, knocking him out by then. But this one, if you'd be falling back, and people would be like, "Catch him, catch him, catch him," Deku would raise up his hand into a palm shape, and Bakugo would fall down, and he would have woke up at the last moment before getting palmed in the chest, just exploding himself, exploding himself upwards, slowing down his descent, and Deku catching him. And that's how Deku won the sports festival. I say Todoroki second and Bakugo third, because I don't get how Bakugo won. I get that he beat him in that whole, like the 1-on-1, but I think they should have went by every point that you won. And since Todoroki did get like second in everything, except the last one, he got third technically. But because of that, he would have, of course, what is this? I'm gonna watch that right after this, so I might have a break between these. But that's why. But Baku got third in 1 second. 2 seconds and 1/3 is better than 2/3 and 1 second. So yeah, Todoroki is second, and so I leave this one off.